Hi everyone, this is Blake Anderson, and in this video I'm going to walk you through how to use GeoLayers, create a map of a riding, of a federal riding, or it could be a provincial or municipality riding, in terms of drawing the boundaries of the riding in GeoLayers to create an animated map that slowly zooms in and captures the coordinates of the boundaries of the riding. I recently finished a video for a potential candidate for federal riding, and in that video I created this animation using GeoLayers, which basically animated the Toronto district that this riding is from. And I'm going to show you in this video how to walk you through how you can create this for yourself, should you be working maybe with a politician or have other purposes, could be like a documentary, in order to create political boundaries, particularly in Canada. So I'm going to walk you through each step of how I created this map in GeoLayers. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open up After Effects, and as you see here, I have the coordinates already set up in terms of the map that I created. And as you see here, it zooms in to the location. And I could do other things, but that's basically what I did and I made it blue to represent the colors of the party. And I use a little bit of opacity to basically, you can still see the streets and everything, but it's obviously the opacity is showing some of those streets, but it's covering the other areas. But I can show you different ways to animate the actual boundaries, but this is just one of the ideas that I came up with. So the first step is, open After Effects, open up GeoLayers. And so the way I do that is I typically will go to the extensions here and go into GeoLayers, and I'll assume that you already have GeoLayers installed. And I believe you can get a free trial, so you could test it out if you wanted to test it out. But as you see here, I'm going to open up GeoLayers, and it comes up with a blank map, right? And because I'm in Toronto, I'm going to just search Toronto. And there you go, it generates a map of Toronto. I can go here, and you see the section up here, up top. I'm going to go into there, and I'm going to click, let me think here. I want to create a new map, so let's see here. Yeah, basically it's the map. You can change the style of the map by going here, and you could change the different imagery in terms of the theme that you might want for the map. But in this situation, I just used the Bing aerial photo or map. And so and I use it for 7 seconds. And just some other aspects is I clicked on motion, imagery motion blur. And I also upped the quality to 100%. And you can change the blend duration, so that's how quick I believe it zooms into the map. Actually, wait, that's with, so that's the way that it blends in terms of how it animates. And then the zoom in can also be found here. But I basically kept just the theme, put 7 seconds. I made it into a 4K timeline. I believe that's fine with the program, but typically I would be doing it in 1080p. So once I've created the theme, and then once you want the theme that you want, you can click apply. And then the next question is, how do you get the actual coordinates of the boundaries in Toronto here in the federal district? How did I animate them in GeoLayers? So what I did is so this is basically the map I wanted to create of the Don Valley West here in Toronto. And so, I wanted to find the coordinates of these map, and what I did is I just searched the coordinates for federal ridings in Ontario on a coordination map. And what I come up with here is an open data soft. So I went to this website, and I'll leave that in the description in terms of the actual website. And here it came up with federal ridings in Canada. And you see on the left here, it has all these different ridings. And so what I simply did is I looked for Ontario, clicked on Ontario. I then went to the area, so went down to Don Valley West, and I clicked on that. And then what you have here, I'm not an expert in all this data, but what I did is I simply went to exports, and then that allows you to download the GeoJSON file. And what I did is only the select record, so I downloaded that. And then basically all you do is you're gonna copy this or drag it into After Effects, into GeoLayers, and simply drop it on GeoLayers, and then voila, it creates this boundary map of the boundaries of the jurisdiction or the area in which the writing is. And then all you have to do now is to animate it. And so in order to animate in GeoLayers, what you do is you're gonna click on this feature here, and you're gonna see here Ontario. So that's this basically this map here, or the coordinates. And then trick here is to click this here, and this will allow you to animate the features of the coordinates. And what I'll first do is just suggest is to create a boundary line. So you see here there's a boundary with white, and you can change the colors. So if you wanted to create your own style, you go in here, you might change, say you wanted to have it you know, maybe gray. So you click there, that allows you to create your own preset, and you apply it, and there you go, you have a slightly gray outline of the boundaries of the writing. And then what you do here then is you're going to draw features. So click draw feature, and you can either click animate feature path or draw feature. But because I wanted to you know, not have it animated, but rather have it already populated when I zoom in, then I click draw feature. And so what that does is it applied this outline here, the white or the gray, and it created this map here. And I believe because I've already done this, I'm going to delete these earlier maps, and then I'm just going to simply have the outline. So as you see here, you have the outline of the map. And then, but let's say you wanted to animate the insides of the boundaries. What I did then is I just basically copied this, or actually no, I just, you know, dragged it again, the same coordinates again into GeoLayers. I'm sure there's a way to make it easier and just duplicate it. But what I did is I just dragged it in again. Then I have another option here to animate. So I click this style, this blue style and so I'll show you just how I do that. So I went in here, I clicked, you know, blue color, and then I applied that. And then in terms of opacity, I lowered the opacity, I think to about 80 or so. And that's all I did. And then I basically, all I have to do is apply it. And so what that's going to do is it's going to animate or, you know, populate this light blue in the insides of the boundaries. And so again, you click draw feature, and you go like that, draw feature, and then look, it creates its own, you know, light blue, like I mentioned, right? And then other than this, is all you do is you're going to use these keyframes to animate the map. So what I'm going to first do is, you know, click to the beginning of the, and I apologize for, I have a smaller screen, so that's why I have this overlaid here. But what you do is you're going to create it at the beginning of the map. And then let's say you want it zoomed out that much, or maybe just slightly in. So it's like right there, you click keyframe. And I would suggest to you that subtler is better, so the less quick the animation. I mean, it depends on what you're going for, but generally I've found that if the slower I animate and make it look a little more cinematic, or just kind of slower, generally looks better versus zooming in very quickly. But again, it's your purpose, I guess, behind the map is essential, I guess, right? But so at the beginning, you set the keyframe like I mentioned here, so that's zoomed in that much. And then you simply go to the end of the map, or however you want to animate it. And let's say I wanted to zoom it in a bit, but maybe not that much, so I would go back a little bit. And you can also like change the perspective. And then you simply click the keyframe again here. And so that way you have a slight zoom in, right? And you're also going to want to finalize this each time. So make sure that you finalize, that will actually create the map for you. So I click finalize. And it does take a little bit, especially in this map, I'm working 4K. So I believe it's taking a little bit longer than I'm normally typically I'm used to in terms of working GeoLayers. You know, you can change the pitch as well, then the bearing. If you don't want it to come up from the side like that, you can change it to being more like downward like that. And you can animate that the way that it animates, and you know, just set your keyframes. But in this one, I just created a simple zoom in, And yeah, that's basically how you can create a map. I'm sure, we can go into some more details in terms of ways in which to animate this. You could do different things. You could animate it so it animates in. So in the sense that it's not already static when you already created the map, rather it generates the map as you zoom in. But for this video, I just kept it simple. And this is a simple way that you basically just drop the GeoJSON file into GeoLayers. You're able to animate a map in GeoLayers. And this is a great way to create a very professional looking animated map for your next promotional video, be it working with a politician or just having some other purpose for this. So if you did like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks and have a great day.